Hi guys, welcome back to Picama Stitches. Today I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful side gathers handkerchief gown. So if you're interested in it, let's get right into class. So I have this beautiful Ankara print, and to be sincere, I exhausted the whole 6 yards and I have my soft paper stay. Okay, so I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two. We're cutting the front piece first, and I've marked 1 inch from the top, which will serve as our shoulder line and as our starting line. Now from that point, I'm going to be chalking my shoulder to bust point. I'm marking this twice in order to get a straight line. And after that point, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to under bust measurements. So whatever yours is, go ahead and mark the same thing. And I'm also marking it twice. Now after taking that measurement, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to front waist. Now remember, our front waist is different from our back waist, okay? So I'm going to be marking my shoulder to my front waistline for the front, okay? So I'm going to be marking it at 2 different places as well in order to get a straight line. Now after marking that from the front waistline, I'm going to be coming down by 9 inches for my hip point. Okay, so whatever your hip point is, go ahead and mark. That's your shoulder to hip measurement. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark mine, and I'm also marking it twice. Now after this measurement, you're going to be getting the full length of your dress, the shorter version of it. Remember, there's an extended gathered handkerchief at the sides. Okay, so for me, the full length of this dress for me is 42 inches. So I'm marking my shoulder to my 42-inch point, and after marking out all these lines, I'm going to go ahead and connect them into a straight line. So can you see what I have left there? So I'm going to mark this again and connect into a straight line. So I'm going to label the lines. This is my bust point, this is my under bust line, this is my waist line, this is my hip line, and then the last line we have is the full length. So I'm going to be marking F there. Okay, so that's the full length of the dress. So now I explained earlier in, I think, the last tutorial that I made, okay, the new method I'm going to be using going forward on this channel for any fitted dress. Okay, so for now, from this folded part, I'm going to be marking my shoulder measurements divided by 2. Okay, then after that, I'm marking my neck width. I'm going to be using 3.75 for this dress. Now for the front of my shoulder, I'm going to be sloping it by 1.5 inch. Now that is going to be affecting your round armhole measurement. So whatever your round armhole measurement is, after dividing it by 2, take out half of an inch. Now that half of an inch is taken out from the front part. At the back part, we're going to be replacing that half inch. Please, if it's not so clear to you, you can watch I think the last tutorial or the tutorial before the last one. I really took my time to explain this. So meaning, instead of marking 9 inches from the shoulder slope for my armhole depth to get my chest line, I'm going to be marking 8.05. But at the back, I'm going to be marking 9 inches. I hope this is clear. Now this gives me a better fit. Okay, you can still use 1 inch slope if you want to, it's fine, but I think this 1.5 inch slope for the front works better. So you should also try it and tell me how it comes out. Okay, so after getting my chest line, I'm going to be marking the same thing I marked at my shoulder at that point, and then I'll connect into a straight line, and we've successfully created our armhole line. Now from the shoulder slope to that chest point, I'm going to be getting the midpoint in order for us to create our armhole curve, sorry. So after getting the midpoint, I'm going to go inwards this way, the way you see me do, by 0.75. Now 0.5 doesn't work for all body sizes. For a plus size, you can use 0.5. It won't give you a best fit there. So I used 0.75 for myself. You can use 0.5 for a slim person. So at that chest area, I'm going to be marking my bust circumference divided by 4. And after marking it at that point, I'm going to be connecting these 3 lines you see me pointing at in order to create my armhole curve. Now I really want to apologize for this chalk. I don't know how to put it. Okay, I don't know, maybe it's because of the fabric or because I'm doing this outside. Okay, I got to realize after making the video that the chalk wasn't really showing. I tried another color of chalk, it wasn't really showing as well. So I'm really sorry guys, but just follow my explanation and you would definitely get it. Okay, so I'll do better next time. So sorry guys. Okay, so at my waist area, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement, and I'm going to be taking that measurement all the way from the bust to the under bust to the waist. Now at my hip area, I'm going to be coming up by 3 inches from my hip. Remember, that is not going to go all the way to the hip. Okay, now at that 3 inches above my hip, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement on that line, and then I'm going to be connecting these lines into a straight line. Now for this dress, we're going to be creating a waist dart and a side bust dart for this dress. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. We're creating the waist dart first. Now at the waist area, I'm going to be taking 0.75 on both sides in order to create my darts. For a slim person, you can do half an inch on both sides. Now there are some body sizes that you can do up to 1 inch on both sides. Okay, but I'm doing 0.75 on both sides of my nipple to nipple line, and then I'm connecting it in a slanted manner to my bust points, just the way you see me do. So go ahead and connect yours, whatever you're using, connect it to the bust point, and once you're done doing that, you're also going to be connecting it downwards to these 3 inches we came up from the hip by. Okay, so connect it to that line as well, and you've successfully created your waist dart. Can you see what we have? So go ahead and take your time to connect. Once again, I really want to apologize for the chalk. I almost did not put this tutorial out there, but I just had to because I know it would help someone. Okay, so now we're going to be creating the side bust dart. Now from your bust point, you're going to be coming down by the difference between your front waist and your back waist. Now for me, that difference is 2 inches, and I'm going to mark it out just the way you see me do. Can you see what we have? And then in order for us to connect it back from my nipple to nipple line here at the bust point, I'm going to mark outwards 1 inch, just the way you see me do, because it's not supposed to get all the way to your nipple point exactly. Okay, so I came out by 1 inch and I connected to create my bust dart. Okay, so this is my side bust dart. Now I don't know how I lost this clip. I've gone ahead to shape the body. My round bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch, my hip and all to the hem. So just go ahead and take your normal body measurement and add your preferred sewing allowance. Now for the shoulder, the neck width, remember we took 3.75. Now for the depth for the front, I'm also doing 3.75, and that's what you see me connecting. Now don't forget to add half of an inch at the shoulder for shoulder joining. Okay, now after doing that, we're going to be working on the lower part, okay, in order to create that effect. So at the center part here, you can go ahead and mark your nipple to nipple measurement. If I'm doing that, when I open it up, I'm going to be having 9 inches, so you can reduce that. Okay, from my actual waistline, I came down by 3 inches. Okay, if you want your curve to go all the way to your waistline, it's fine, but I think this gave me a better fit. So I came down from my waist by 3 inches, and from the center of my dress, the folded part, I came inwards by 4 inches. Okay, I later reduced it to 3.5 inches. Okay, so go ahead and create your curve. My curve ruler didn't give me what I wanted. You can use your free hand. Come down from your waist by 3 inches. From the center, I marked 4 inches, but I later reduced. So you can mark 3 inches. So when you open it up, you have 6 inches. Okay. Now, whatever you mark, remember your front piece is on fold. and we don't want that part to be too wide. Okay, if it's not too wide, it comes out beautiful. That's what I've observed. Okay, so you can go ahead and reduce yours, and after that all you just do is to go ahead and cut this out. We are done with the cutting for the front. Please guys, I really want to apologize once again for the visibility in this video. I know it's not really clear, but just follow what I'm saying, the instructions, and watch closely. I know you will still get something from it, and I promise to do better next time. Thank you so much guys. And I also want to say a very big thank you to my OGs, okay, my subscribers that keep coming back to watch tutorials, and also the new subscribers on this channel. Now on this channel we put out sewing tutorials, okay, very simple tips and tricks on how to make your dress come out beautiful. Now please, when you want to cut the side dart, kindly close your darts this way before you cut. And after cutting, can you see the effect? If you had cut it straight, it will be shortened when joining the side. Please kindly take note of that. So I want to say guys, thank you and you're welcome to this channel. You're going to be learning a lot from here. Please kindly like and subscribe and share the videos, okay? Thank you so much, and I look forward to us having a fun time together. And we're done with our front piece. Can you see what we have? You can go ahead to pin it down. Let's go ahead and cut the back piece. So for my back piece, I have my fabric folded into two as well, and I've marked down 1 inch from the top as well for our shoulder and starting line. I'm going to go ahead and take my measurements. The only difference for the back is there won't be an underbust. Now after marking from my shoulder to bust, remember the front and back half length is different, so I'm going to be marking my back half length at this point. Now after marking your back half length, if you go ahead to mark down your hip, it will be shortened. So what you do is to measure what you have in front of your dress from shoulder to hip and mark the same thing at the back piece so that it will not be shortened. I hope this is clear. Now after marking that, that will give you your hip point. Now you go ahead and mark your shoulder to the full length, the same thing you did for the front. I hope this is clear. Now after connecting my lines at the waist area, I'm going to be going in by 1.5 in order to eliminate zipper bulge. I'll connect it in a slanted manner to the chest area, and I'll connect it 2 inches below, okay, above the hip point. Sorry, I hope this is clear. At your waist area, go in by 1 inch or 1.5, connect in a slanted manner just the way you see me do to 2 inches above the hip point, and connect upwards towards your neck area. Now after doing that, we're going to go ahead now to create a zipper allowance line. Now I'm working with a 1 inch zipper allowance line because this dress is not lined, okay? So follow the curve that you have and mark your zipper allowance line. So I'm going ahead to mark my 1 inch zipper. Now you need to see this dress on me. It was so beautiful. I wore it for an occasion yesterday, and I like to put an advice out there to every tailor or fashion designer. Please have an extra tape in your handbag that you use out, because yesterday I had so many clients that loved my dress and wanted me to recreate it for them, so I didn't waste any time taking measurements. So that's an advice I want to put out there, okay? It's not when someone wants you to take their measurements you start looking for tape. Have an extra in each of your handbag, okay? So that's to tell you this dress was beautiful, perfect on me, so you should also try this out. So after creating your zipper allowance line, go ahead and connect it. Just follow the curved line, okay? You connect your zipper allowance line just the way you see me do, and the lower part will be straight. Now, after doing that, from that your zipper allowance line, you're going to be marking your shoulder width divided by 2. And remember, the neck width is going to be the same. We did 3.75 for the front. We're going to be doing the same thing at the back. Now, remember, we made some alterations to the armhole, okay? So for the back armhole, I'm going to be using 1 inch. We used 1.5 for the front, and then the chest line we did 8.5 inches. Now for the back, I'm going to be marking 9 inches, replacing the ½ inch I took out from the front. Please, you can watch, I think, the last tutorial, or I can put the link of the video in the description box so you can check it and get a more detailed tutorial. Now, and after doing this, you'll see that both the front chest line and the back chest line will match up together perfectly well. But I feel this 1.5 in front gives me a better fit, okay? But you can do whatever works for you, okay? You can still do the 1 inch is in front, 1 inch at the back, it's fine. Now, after getting our chest line from this zipper line here, okay, we're going to be marking the same thing we marked at the shoulder in order to create a straight line and create our armhole curve. Okay, so by this we have successfully gotten our chest line measurement. So go ahead and connect the lines just the way you see me do. So we've connected our lines. Now, in order to also create a slope for the back, we'll come back to that. At the chest line, still from this zipper allowance line, I'm going to be marking my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'm adding my 1.5 inch sewing allowance, Now, for the back, I'm not going to be adding any darts to it. I'm only adding all the darts to the front, but you can decide to add yours at the back as well. Now, if you're adding at your back piece, I advise you draw out your darts first before creating the slants at the back. If not, your darts line will not look straight, okay? Then after doing it, you can always alterate it. Please, if anything is not clear to you, just let me know in the comment section, okay? So go ahead and take all your body measurements and add your your sewing allowance to it. I added 1.5, and whatever you have at the hip area, you're taking the exact same thing straight down to the hem. Okay, your round hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance, taking it all the way to the hemline. Now, in order to create an armhole curve for the back, we're going to measure what we have here from the shoulder slant to the chest line, and then we're going to be getting the midpoint. Now, for the back, I'm going to be marking 0.5 inch at the midpoint of the back. Can you see what I have? And then I'll go ahead to connect this to get my armhole curve. Please, if you've watched this tutorial up to this point and you've not given this video a like or a thumbs up or subscribed, please kindly use this moment to do that, okay? It's a way of showing appreciation. Thank you so much. So this is what we have. Now, in order to create this curve at the back, you will need to bring in your front piece. And when you bring in your front piece, go ahead and close up your bust that first, okay? So that the front will not be longer. Now, align the chest area. Now, after aligning the chest area, you will see that the waist area aligns with the back, okay? Now, go ahead and note that point where you did your curve from, just the way I did. And then from your zipper line here, go ahead and mark the exact same thing you marked at the back. So everything in front, so everything aligns. Remember, I said I marked 4.5 inches, 4 inches, I'm going to go ahead and reduce it because I didn't want it to be too wide. Now connect from that line back to the line, the 3 inches you came down from your waist area, okay? Go ahead and curve it the way you see me do. And then you've successfully created the curve on both sides, okay? Go ahead and connect it and you're done with the lower part. So we're going to work on the neckline of the back. Now I had a deep neckline for my back. I came down by 10 inches for my neck depth for the back. Okay, so I'm going to connect this neck depth back to the 3.7 inches neck width that we had in a V shape. So you can use any form of neckline you want to use, is absolutely fine. Now after connecting it this way, I'll connect it into my zipper line just the way you see me do. Okay, and we're done. Go ahead and add back 1/2 of an inch at the shoulder. Okay, please don't forget that point. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. So I think it's the 1/2 of an inch. I didn't remember to add that made the back a bit shorter than the front, but you will see where I actually trimmed it off. So guys, I want to apologize again. I'm so sorry guys for the marking, but if you follow my explanation, I'm sure you will definitely get what we have done here so far. Okay, and I still want to appreciate those that have subscribed to this channel. This channel was started 11 months ago. It's not up to a year, and we have, as at this moment, 176 subscribers, and I'm really cheerful and grateful. This is what encourages me to put up my camera, you know, even with the busy schedules and other things I have to do and family. Subscribe just to upload tutorials. It really encourages me. It shows that people appreciate what I'm doing. So I want to say thank you. And to those of you that have not yet subscribed, you've not entered into this family, please kindly subscribe, because more interesting tutorials are going to be coming up on this channel, and I know you're going to be learning big from here. And also share to your fellow tailors or fashion designers. One way or another, they'll also learn, because we learn every day. Okay, so thank you so much guys. Let's get right back into our tutorial. Now can you see the center back, how cinched and beautiful it's already looking? Can you see that it's giving? Okay, so go ahead and notch your zipper allowance area at the top and at the lower part. So go ahead now to cut out facing. I have this fabric, I folded it in two. Remember, the back is, we're having two separate pieces for the back, so we're cutting out two facing, okay, for the both back pieces. Okay, so go ahead and align them perfectly. Make sure it's well aligned and that your shoulder is laying flat. Go ahead and trace the exact same thing you have to your facing, just the way you see me do. So I've gone ahead to trace it out guys, and once I'm done, you go ahead and take out your pin and you take out the main piece. So on my facing, I don't want my facing to go all the way to the armhole area. Okay, so I'm going to be reducing that, and then for the length of the facing, I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches at this point, and at the width here, I'm going to be coming in by 1 inch. Okay, and I'll connect it in a curved manner, just the way you see me do. Okay, I don't always like my facing going all the way to the armhole area, so I just took out 1 inch and then I came down by 3 inches at the lower part and I curved it, and our facing is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and add my soft paper, my tissue gum, sorry, to this facing to give it more structure. So can you see what we have? This is all for our facing. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the front facing as well. So for my front facing, it's not going to be opened. Remember, the front piece is on fold, so my facing is on fold as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. Then we go ahead to trace out the neck depth and the shoulder as well, just like we did for the back. but ensure the front facing is on fold and it's well relaxed. The center of your main fabric must align with the center of your facing, and it must be well relaxed and flattened out. Okay, so go ahead and trim the shoulders as well. Then we go ahead to make some alterations. So at this point, we're going to be doing the same thing we did on the back piece. Okay, for the depth of the facing here, I have 3 inches here, and at the shoulder width, I'm going to be coming in by 1 inch, just the way we did. Okay, now at the width here, it has to be the same with the back so it matches up. Okay, so I'll go ahead and curve it as well, and then I cut it out. We're also going to be adding our tissue stay, okay, our paper stay to this facing for more structure, and then we'll attach it to the neck area. Can you see what we have? But before we do, I'm going to be showing us how I transfer my darts to the other side of my fabric without having to mark it afresh. Okay, so at this point that you have here, go ahead and pass your pins through. Now those pins are going to be showing at the other side of the fabric. Okay, so you need to pass your pins at the specific points, at the 2 inches line you came down by, at the bust area, the nipple area, the dart you took at the waist, just the places you see me putting in my pins, the 3 inches we went up by from the hip area, whatever that you're using, you use your pins to poke through. Now when you flip it to this other side, you will see your pins showing from this way. Okay, can you see? So you just go ahead and use your chalk and trace it. This is very simple, the simplest method ever. You don't need to open up your fabric and start marking your darts all over again. Okay, so I saw this method and I really loved it. It's very easy. So just go ahead and follow the pins that you put in through the other side, follow the line and trace out your darts. You'll see that you have the exact same thing replicated at the other side of your dress. So I'm going ahead to connect mine, my bust dart and also my waist dart. And when you're done, you go ahead to take out those pins. Okay, and when you open it up, you see that you have the exact same thing on both sides. So I'll go ahead to open this up after tracing it out. Sorry, the chalk is not letting you see clearly, but I have the exact same thing. So you go ahead and pick all your darts. After picking your darts, you attach your facing, and then I'll show us what we have. So this is what we have, guys. I've gone ahead to attach my facing. I top stitched and I flipped it over. Can you see the back pieces? I'm going to show us, open this up to show us properly what we have. Okay, and I've turned the zipper area with the facing at the top part here. Okay, I'm going to be serging this dress later. Okay, so can you see the zipper area? That effect we have is so beautiful. Now this is the back, neatly turned. Can you see the bust is already having that deep effect with just our bust dart and our waist dart? Okay, so can you see what we have? This is so beautiful. So you can choose to line yours, is absolutely fine. Okay, if you're using an Ankara piece or whatever you choose to use, it's definitely fine. So you're going to be placing your fabric right sides facing each other. You're going to be using one of the facing to turn the shoulders, and then you shape the sides. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do that. Can you see? I've shaped the sides, joined the shoulders, and I used my pin to pin down the areas, the sides. Okay, the curve we created. So can you see the little excess I talked about? So can you see I had to trim it off? So this is exactly what we have. You must ensure the hem and the cuffed area for both front and back is well aligned. So this is what I have, 7.5. I took out just 1/4 of an inch on both sides. I didn't want mine to be too wide, so that's optional. It depends on what you want. Now for the center back, I've gone ahead to close up my zipper allowance area for now, okay, because we need both front and back to be well aligned. So go ahead and cut the handkerchief. So for the handkerchief part, this is where my fabric really got consumed, because I had to fold this in lengthwise, okay, in order to have that ruffles. Now let's measure up to be sure of what we're going to have. I've folded this into 2. You need to pin the sides to ensure everything is well aligned. Now from the sides here, I'm going to be measuring down to the hem to be sure of what I have. Now what we have at this cuffed area will guide us on the length that we're going to be cutting for the handkerchief, the length that we're going to be cutting for the handkerchief. So what I have here is 25 inches. Can you see what I have? So 25 for the both sides of the front is going to be 50. For the both sides of the back is going to be 50. So this is the piece that we had cut out earlier, and my fabric is on fold. A fold for the front, unfold for the back, and I'm putting them all together. Now this is the folded part. This folded part is not going to be open. This folded part is going to align with the midpoint on your sides, on the sides of your dress, okay? This point is going to be at the midpoint, the side of this your dress. Can you see where I'm showing you? So that part has to be on fold. And then you can also measure these pieces you cut out earlier. If you measure the curved part on your piece, if you have the exact same thing, you know that what you're doing is actually correct. Mine was just short by just 1/2 of an inch because of the what I had to trim out at that point, which is perfectly fine. Now you're going to be measuring what we have here in width. Remember, this is on fold, okay? So when I measured, what I have here was 35 inches, okay? That was what I have. Now this is on fold. We're going to be having just a little gather, okay, because I don't have much fabric. But if you're working with crepe, you have enough length to play around with. Now I'm going to be leaving 1/2 of an inch at the top part here, and from that part, what you measured at the curved area of your dress is what you're going to be marking here. Now you're going to be marking it straight. Remember, we're making the handkerchief effect on the sides. Now if it is the usual gathered curved part, I would have worked with this curved area. I really hope this is clear. But since we're trying to create a handkerchief effect, if you want to have that dangling effect on the sides of the dress, you're going to just mark straight what you measured at the curved area. Mark it straight down on your fabric, just the way you see me marking, okay? The only difference is this midpoint here. The folded part is going to be at the midpoint of the sides of your dress, and you just stitch it straight forward, okay, in order to achieve that effect. Is very simple. So what we measured was 25 inches. I'm marking the exact same 25 inches on this my fabric, and then after marking that, I'll go ahead and connect this into a straight line, and then we cut out. We are done with cutting the handkerchief part. I really hope this is clear. Now if you're working with crepe, you have a longer fabric to have more gathered effect, like what you saw on the thumbnail. But since this is Ankara and I did not want to join it, I didn't have more gathered effect. But you're going to be using the exact same method with more fabric, okay, or a longer length of fabric, width of fabric. It will give you more. So can you see what we have? I'm going to flip it this way. So this is what we have. This center point is going to be at the center of the sides, and whatever little excess you have, you're going to pleat it to the side. Now if you had measured the length on this part, you will have a shorter effect. Can you see what I have? 21 inches. So you need to work with the curved part what you measured at the cuff part of your dress. I really hope this is clear and understandable. Okay, so after doing this, go ahead and notch this midpoint. Okay, so one piece is for the back, for one side of the dress, one piece is for one side of the dress. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off this edge because I need it to be well aligned. I need to have the exact same thing. Now for the hem of this dress, I won't be folding it. Okay, I'm going to be using what we call ready-made weaving. I don't know how it's called in your area. It gave me a more beautiful ready-made kind of look that I loved. So you can decide to hem yours. It's absolutely fine and it's optional. So let me open this up to show us. I'll take out this piece. So can you see what we have here now? We're having two separate long pieces. So one is for one side. Can you see our notch part? One is for the other side. So these notch parts will be at this joining you have, the 3 inches you came down from your waistline by. Can you see what we have? So you are going to be placing these right sides facing each other, the right side of this handkerchief on the right side of your fabric, and you're going to be sewing from the hem to that side. Okay, so before we do that, let's go ahead and cut out a sleeve with the remaining fabric that we have. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark my elbow line, okay, at this point, and then what I have here is the full length of my sleeve. I didn't have much fabric left. I wanted to do a long sleeve, but my fabric wasn't enough, so I had to make do with what my fabric can give me. So this is my cap's height, 6 inches. I'm going ahead to mark that out. Now after marking that, I'm going to go ahead and just create an inverted S, kind of, just to create my armhole curve. Now, like I always say, if you need a detailed tutorial, or one of these days I'll put out a more detailed tutorial on how to make a sleeve. But if you're interested in that tutorial, just let me know in the comment section. If not, I'll assume everyone knows how to make one, and then we'll move on to other things. So go ahead and measure that curved area to be sure you have what you need for your armhole. So I have mine and it's perfect. At my elbow line, I'm going to be marking my round elbow divided by 2 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. And at the hem of my sleeve, I'll also mark what I need at that point with my sewing allowance. And I'll connect it just the way you see me do. And then I'll go ahead to cut this out. It's a simple, straightforward sleeve, okay? So after cutting this out, I'm going to go ahead and hem the lower part, and then I'll attach the sleeve to my dress. Remember, this sleeve is on fold, so we have 2 sleeves, one for the left hand and one for the right hand side. So our sleeve is ready. I'll go ahead to attach this to the dress and I'll show us what we have. So this is what we have. Our dress is coming together. Can you see our neck area? I've put in my sleeve and I've gone ahead to fix in my zipper at the back area, and I've also attached the gathered handkerchief effect on one part. Can you see what I have? Sorry guys, my camera could not capture everything, okay, but I'm going to be making the illustration on the other side. Can you see the gathers we have here? It's not much because of the fabric we had to work with. So that's what I was trying to say earlier. So let me show us how to create this on the other side. So the other side is still open. So can you see the midpoint that we notched earlier? You're going to be opening up your fabric, okay, and you're going to be placing this right sides of this facing, okay, of this handkerchief will be facing the right sides of your fabric. Now you're going to be sewing from the lower parts, okay. You're going to be attaching from the lower part on one side. You attach with 1/2 inch, you sew it all the way, and you're going to be stopping 2 inches before the joining you have here on your main dress. Can you see a notch? Okay, you're going to be stopping 2 inches. Can you see what I'm doing? Please watch carefully. You top stitch at this point, stop 2 inches before this joining. You're going to flip your fabric as well to the other side, start from the lower part and join. Now when you get to that center, whatever fabric you have left, you're going to gather it to that midpoint, and it's as simple as that. Go ahead and hem the lower part and your dress is ready. Please kindly try this out and let me know in the comments how yours comes out. Till I see you next time. Bye bye.